Barou, the striker in Blue Lock who probably has the most goals. The man who in the selections has shown his ego above all and has never changed. The ability to easily become the ruler of the pitch by his presence alone and devouring his enemies in front of him. This is the philosophy of Barou and how he was able to become dethroned and rise again to the occasion. Usu, my name is Jake Shell here. Make sure you leave 100 likes on this video. It'll be much appreciated. Subscribe for more Blue Lock content and other anime content for that matter. Now let's explore the philosophy of Barou. Now the game you have been waiting for. So what is the game plan of Barou as a whole? Well, it's to score goals through his own fruition. He doesn't play as a team, and in fact it is his sole rule. Something as small as having a certain bed or a clean room as well as being in a bed is all part of his rule. Now let's look into Barou becoming dethroned the first time. So in the match between Barou, Hisagi and Nagi versus Chigiri, Ryo and Kunigami, Barou previous to the match established he was going to play his way and his way only. He didn't care about chemical reactions, but that is what begins his path to becoming dethroned. Like Kunigami says, Barou is guarded by Ryo and Kunigami smartly, knowing what his range is and being the aggressor. Even while knowing this, Barou believed he could still be able to do everything himself. What's common is Barou doesn't like passing or want to pass as a whole, but would only do so if it results to his own goal, and if he is the person that wants to pass. His philosophy on not being a team player speaks volumes as it counteracts the purpose of the sport, but is perfect in Blue Lock. He simply does what he wants. That's what makes him get his first turnover and allows for the counter from the other team, allowing Ryo to steal the ball from him and pass to Chigiri while conceding the goal in the process. Playing a very balanced team like this is definitely not going to be easy, so Barou tries his charges again, which this time he got Hisagi beside him, who utilized his off the ball ability getting behind Ryo, which became pointless because Barou still was greedy, losing the ball twice and conceding because of it. The path to him smelled dead. Zero goal potential even and zero chemical reaction potential. But why does that matter? Barou's philosophy of winning with his own goals and rather dying than giving an assist, that's the rules of a madman. Not trying to be programmed and feels everyone around him is a bot. While Nagi and Hisagi are frustrated at the manner in which they are losing, their conclusion is that he needs to accept defeat in one way or another. This changed the whole dynamic of the match completely. Hisagi and Nagi had to forcefully play among themselves. You could not change the king or his philosophy, so instead the king was used. In the midst of being used, Hisagi goes in behind where his blind spots are and receives a pass from Nagi resulting into a goal. This is the first instance of him not feeling like the main character, being used by a man he finds inferior to himself and gaining a goal from him as well. It made him mad. His darkness was utilized. Not only that, but receiving words from Hisagi of all people and being told the words, "Don't hold us back, don't get in our way, loser." These words frustrated the king furiously and shocked him at the same time. This was the first time he has been challenged on his philosophy and his whole ideology of football. So to combat that, he intercepted the pass from Chigiri and beat Kunigami physically. But when taking the ball down, the selfish mentality stuck to him. Then he lost the ball, which made no difference in the end. Why? Because Hisagi was already ahead. He predicted that Barou was going to be selfish and took it to his advantage to regain the ball. Chips the ball over Chigiri, giving him a dink pass to Nagi, setting him up for the volley to hit the top left corner. Barou Shuei's philosophy is going down the drain. The belief, the swagger, the confidence, it was all fading bit by bit. He was questioning himself and was pissed off due to being controlled by his teammates. It was a sorry sight. Even after conceding again, trying to take Chigiri off the ball, it really showed a weakness that was blatant, and that Barou was no longer him/Himothy. Barou is drowned in confusion, wondering why he's not able to score and why is he playing a supporting role. It has been like this his whole life, showered in compliments and praise. This is how he was born, and this is how his ego and philosophy came along, and he was not able to understand people happy with playing that supporting role. Then it evolved into wanting to drag off people who tried to be that main character and taking them off the stage, and that was his pleasure of football. Pretty much meaning if you want to be Himifi, you have to be better than him by force on the pitch. But the moment that shattered all of that was the moment he had a chance to score. But it was going to be a bit difficult because he needed to take a few meters forward and Chigiri was running behind him. This resulted into him without thinking and listening to the command of Isagi. Pass the ball, he says. And this literally broke him, because without thinking or reaction, on autopilot, he passed the ball. This pass resulted into a goal from Isagi, leveling the score 4-4, but it was a defeat for Barou. He surrendered the ball to Isagi, and that, ladies and gentlemen, was the first time Barou genuinely felt defeat. Although he's lost in the past, he scored and never felt like he has ever lost. But that came to an end. He beat himself up and submitted and squeezed his heart to the situation at hand. He officially dethroned by the main character in Blue Lock, Isagi Yoruichi. Until the last point of the game, Barou's team was on the defensive. Due to Isagi's intelligence, they actually ended up predicting the situation. And the ball falls to none other than Barou Shuei. Right now, this man has no confidence, and he actually sees a path to the goal, and for the first time it's not through himself but through others besides him. He was coming to terms with the fact that he is now going to be in a supporting role, finally understanding the meaning of being a team player, as well as having chemical reactions. But then, the fear of him losing himself, fear and regret, anger, heartache came holding him back from passing. His philosophy was about to evolve and become anew. Everything he knew and believed would end right there and then, so he hits Kunigami instantly with a Ronaldo chop, getting away and doing a tight dribble and moving forward, beating one man. He then fakes a pass towards Izaki, and Rio gets baited and hits another Ronaldo chop in this process, deceiving two players on the pitch. This was the stamp of him being born again, going through an awakening, which makes him use Isagi's light and devours him completely, making Chigiri completely confused which direction he was about to go in, therefore becoming a villain that devours the light, scoring in his favourite top right hand corner of the goal and reclaiming the role as a main character. The king returned and announces himself as the true king, Barou Shuei, winning the game 5-4. The philosophy was cemented in his brain even more, when needing to use Isagi's massive influence in the game to his own advantage to create his own goals. But he is aware other people can shine in the process, which is what he had to accept. But since tasting defeat, he knows what he must do to win. That's the end of this Blue Lock video. If you enjoyed this, remember to leave a like on the video, it'd be much appreciated, trust me. Subscribe if you're new, and as I say to the new and old people that come and visit my channel, Jana.